This is about Ukrainian individual and also his wife now. This couple became involved first through the wife. Poroshenko was an individual who was involved, in my case, already sometimes very early. 98, very early, even earlier, because they were Ukrainians in Miami at One Stop Workforce Innovation Agency. And it appeared that he wanted to help me out. But concerning the case of the couple you're about to hear is very, very triggery. All this stuff have appeared at the same time as all these issues, and so I have spoken about in a previous video. And so at no surprise, you have an individual who acted. First it was the girl introduced to someone, beautiful Ukrainian girl interested in you, blah 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 blah. This was always on a million occasions. Then Huapek would come, guy would come, now we are a couple, and so on. So what the truth is, I don't know, I don't care. I know that it was a Poroshenko the one that introduced her, and I know it was the Poroshenko the one who found this individual to date her or become her husband rather, and so on. These are just the plain facts, because individual is completely belongs to Poroshenko. This is just a fact. Unless they have also imitated Poroshenko, I don't know. It's very strange here in Poland. I would not even be surprised in respect to that stuff. It's just a whole lot of stuff that is shocking and doubtful about the whole thing. I'm not gonna say it's unhealthy to talk about this, because it doesn't have really psychological effect on me, other than that if you participated in MK Ultra and you just happen to reappear again in my life somehow, you demonstrate a total disrespect for me, you have no regrets for the crime, then it does have a psychological impact on me, because if you feel that, like a Belarus guy, let's say, that you have not violated any laws while engaging in torture, if you feel that you have the right to use issues from the torture in a present, in that case, I have to say that it does have psychological effect on me. But I can also tell you that you have not only wasted your trip, you really got yourself a lot of trouble in the future. That I guarantee you that. That's about it. That's the only psychological effect that it does have on me. Other than that, most of the people that are more than willing to help, that I have encountered, that help me out, I don't feel any kind of resentments against them, okay? But when the stuff like this happens, and it's the same thing that happened with this Ukrainian guy, in that case, I got to say that, yeah, I already have explained. Okay, so individual was very violent, have displayed some very violent attitude on behalf of, I'm not really certain whose behalf. Was it on behalf of the Poland, or was it on behalf of Ukraine, or was it on behalf of the Germany, or was it on behalf of all of the three mentioned? I am doubtful when it comes to Germany, very doubtful, because when you're about to hear the audio recording, it's quite sickening. I was acknowledged as a German, as no good, and so on and so forth. As someone who hates and Polish people and Ukrainian, and just really a Russian schizophrenia that made me insult people left and right, including disabled people, and those are the issues they have actually used to even advance hatred against me even further. This is just the way the Kaczynski operates. He creates a hatred, and then what he does is he broadens this hatred to completely irrational, crazy heights. That's why I deem for the individual to be so extremely dangerous for the people. You know, health issues, yes, health issues, and it's important to stop, to prevent this kind of sickness, political schizophrenia, from spreading forward onto other people, so other people would not suffer in a very same fashion. Other than that, it doesn't have any impact in me. I don't live in some kind of illusions and so on. Like I said, I even doubt the German state was involved in this stuff. Story you're about to hear, the account I'm about to give you, and then also audio recording. Itself is going to give you an idea about what exactly went on, what exactly goes on, parallel to all other issues. I was taught at this stage of MK Ultra basically like this. No, there's not a coincidence. I have a tent. Like I said, they play with these tents. This was like completely crazy. They demonstrated destruction of the tents. They demonstrated destruction of the bicycles. They demonstrated destruction of vehicles. I was advised not to even buy vehicle if I'm going to stay in Poland for the at least first 2 years till I make a lot of money, because the only thing that's going to happen is I'm going to work for the car parts and stuff like this. They had me watch outside of the factory how they have dismantled vehicle to individual who worked inside on the production machine, on assembly line. They had me inside of the tent when they would come and they would cut ropes and stuff like this to individual that claimed that was deprived of the sleep. And that individual, that's why I have more and more doubts about the whole thing. Supposedly was a German individual, but it came out information also under MK Ultra that this was actually a Polish individual who worked in Germany. So what here is not doubtful, I do not know, but the whole thing stinks more and more. So what I believe about Angela Merkel and George Bush and all this stuff they try to instill in me, and holding in my hands papers like this and stuff, is just becoming more and more doubtful. This whole thing they have done in Slovenia and so on, you no longer know really what's going on. Threats with a murder, a demonstration of abductions, threats, assassination threats, abduction threats, and so on. A total paranoia, really, if you would not be mentally strong, stable, you would probably really develop some kind of a phobia, fear, and I don't know. Behavior of the Polish state toward me is regretful. There's so much hatred from the past that reverberates to the present is pitiful, it is regretful, and it's why I'm asking United Nations, Amnesty International, European Court for Human Rights to take some serious actions. I'm asking foreign governments to confirm this MKUltra's case and stop this. I don't even know how I would call this anymore. What is this thing? I mean, honest to God, what is this? Life is not, definitely is not. If I get a cardiac arrest, if I get a brain cancer, if I get a permanent hypertension issues, what is this thing? What is this thing at all after I lost already 25 years of life on stuff like this? That numerous people have profited from and nations have profited from and so on. This is not okay. You gotta do something, you gotta do better than Polish state. Polish state have demonstrated total unwillingness and beyond, I would say, in respect to this case, the ability to deal with one. Is not accountable, is not self-accountable, is not capable to handle own affairs. Simple as this. The individual had me inside of the mental hospital with a few other people and have condition when moving inside of the room. This would be like time for me to leave go get the document. This is related to the decision, immigration decision, that I have submitted them a document to end the proceedings, the procedure about international protection in Poland. I never did, and it's where I supposed to be today. Was actually conditioned through the job, was offered like job on the black market that paid a little bit more money through all kinds of other issues that included jobs before, that supposedly made me feel like running to the Warsaw right now and doing completely the wrong thing. This is the wrong thing. You have to do it the legal way. And so this individual was yet another sign that I should just go ahead and do the wrong thing. Screw myself, basically. Get the passport and give up from it all. That when he's moving inside of my room, there will be nothing else but no sleep, only bullshit, a trouble, and will even go to extreme that will physically challenge me for the money. Supposedly, again, that it would be Germans, British, Americans that would pay money. I don't know how much money they would pay. It would be a physical fight. That he would give everything to win that money. Because Poles have translated to me, because this is what the capitalism is. It's a free society, it's a capitalism. And one of the things also in a capitalism is also stuff like this that can be also done like that. There are people also more than willing to get into the physical fights. This was my pay at the end of the MK Ultra in 2006. This is how Poland paid. And so if I would be violent toward him, if I would not accept his dominance of me, the way he was introduced by a Belarus individual, Yuri, was that he's like, Vasya is coming to get also the second opinion about you. So you're talking about like psychiatric type of stuff. You know, second opinion. One opinion was from the KGB criminal who stated that he did not commit any crime, even that he tortured. And the second opinion would come from this individual who is Ukrainian. You see, so these two guys are not even Russians. These are, one is Belarus, the other one is Ukrainian. And this would be the second opinion, and whether I like it or not, I would have to just submit myself to abuse, basically. And that would be most likely walking, God knows what it would be, what they would be doing inside of the room. This is, I would just quietly accept and take abuse for granted. That would be it. As far as the threat, it would get me, if I would get into the physical confrontation, eventually it would land me in the jail with an individual, but that confrontation would become a reality one way or another, and it's what his wife became, confirmed that for that part of the MK Ultra, she's going to move out of the immigration center with the children. She really did pack the stuff yesterday. Today she's probably already gone. An individual is going to move inside of the room. Before he moved inside of the room, he already rearranged everything inside of the room in respect to beds, including my bed. He moved my bed to the area which is exposed to the unit, attached to unit where I am, where you don't want to bring your head close to that wall, because you're going to get so snapped in the head with whatever they use that you're going to have a difficulty for the whole week to get yourself together. So I position myself in such a way that I would be away from that. I am hit by something, but that's not from that apartment unit. It's strong, but not that strong. Not as strong that you would have really, that you would feel in a sleep that everything is moving inside, and headache and, you know, inflamed brain for I don't know how long, sound, hypertension sound resonating in the head and stuff like this. Not that bad. Threw my stuff out also on display and placed his own bed in a different position and his jeans and stuff like that on the top, so it would look like presentable. On what he would lock himself inside of his unit, inside of his unit, where I would go and try to friendly discuss this with him. And once I would go, this whole stuff happened in the evening, folks, when you come back to get this. When I would go and take a shower, would enter inside like Sebastian, you know, like a big boss, like Sebastian, you're taking a shower, now you get this. So, you know, it feels like, yeah, finally we got a man inside of the our place now that is going to take care and demonstrate me the maturity and so on. And I'm like a little baby, I guess. What I was told anyways, that this is what I am by this KGB individual who also said he did not committed any crimes and stuff like that. So now you have two individuals that were involved in a torture. Ukrainian individual was not involved in as much torture as Belarus guy. Nowhere even near. No, not even. Not, I'm gonna say, not even 10% of something like this, but that you would become so disrespectful and that you would go and involve, you know, this kind of issues through this kind of stuff. I got to say that's just something that prompted me that I'm 47, but preferably, he said he's 30 and is big. I would just prefer take him by the hand inside of the gym and really do with him what he promised he would do with me in 2006 under MK Ultra. Because I got an impression that it gives me an impression, this kind of a disrespectful behavior, that people see in me the ability of exercising some kind of fear phobia through the past, when they did have ability to do so. In real time, basically, this is how I feel that they feel. So that is the stuff, you know, disrespectful behavior like this and this kind of stuff. When you repeat, like I said, the stuff like this, then I really do have issues, very, very deep issues with it. It's very difficult for me like this. Like I said, I preferably myself would take him to the gym and, you know, really do with him what he promised me he would do. Anyhow, this is the story about this very individual who appeared along with a stolen wallet and all other issues you're about to hear in the room just yesterday, and today he's supposed to become a permanent resident in our room. And it was Aunt Margosia, the owner, Nedzielska, who just placed him in there. That is not according to him that he would want to come, but this is the way it was. And according to, if this was really a German chief of intelligence who did interacted with me, however, like I said, I did mention magical names such as George Bush, Angela Merkel, and I'm doubtful about this here too, would also insist from me, condition my freedom, my life, basically my existence, through this very individual on how he is like a normal individual, he's got a beautiful wife, Ukrainian, and this is just the way it's gotta be because it's a German-Ukrainian cooperation and stuff like this. I am very doubtful that people would do the stuff like this. Skeptical about all this stuff, and would like international community to become aware about what's going on, what type of dealings went on behind the curtain. This is the stuff that you know, you have the right to know, and it's something that concerns the partnership. It really is what kind of partnership, who builds with what, based on what. I do like to know about this stuff a little bit more myself, because I'm really skeptical about this kind of stuff that would be the case. Now again, I did mention rape instructions, brainwash on how to rape, which Polish police did to me when in Poland. They brainwashed on how to rape. Russians brainwashed on how to rape. I had Polish police pointing revolvers, flashlights at me in abandoned buildings, and that concerned sleeping issues inside of this immigration center, if you want, this concentration camp. And I was told by the German intelligence, I was told by the foreign intelligence, if something like this would be, if something crazy would come out about that they would do the stuff like this, that they would meet. There was a meeting just last week, and I think that Polish state played extremely dirty, and they have parallel to the stuff that was given out as known to this foreign intelligence services, done also shitty stuff on the side, and have attempted to mix, as you see here, Germany is mixed with Ukraine and is mixed with, the stuff like this for me to go against Ukraine, to go against Germany again, and stuff like this. Again, see some kind of enemies out there on the sky. Very important for me to stress this type of politics. The guy does belong to the Poroshenko, and I do like to know what's going on here, because was it back then already that Poroshenko did this together with Kaczynski, and it's something that still goes on, or is it something else that goes on? I cannot even confirm that. I don't even know. I don't know anything about. When it comes to these dealings with the Polish state, I don't even know. When I say Poroshenko, I should be even skeptical and careful about that kind of stuff, because he was not wanted, he was not liked, even was betrayed by the Polish state. Poroshenko fought for life, as far as I know. They tried to melt him down big time, destroy him. In Ukraine, when these negotiations went on, eventually he abandoned them, and he pushed instead in them inside other people, so he would not expose himself too much. What exactly is going on, who is doing what is going on, I don't know, but I know the Polish state is playing like extremely dirty. Okay, that much about you, Vasya. My new roommate is next to this Belarus KGB, Yuri now.